Welcome to The Growth Session with your host, Allison Meyer-Bond. Thank you so much for being here. Summer break from whose perspective? Because it couldn't be mine. I love my kids more than anything, and I want to make that very clear before I say anything I'm about to say. Summer as a working parent is so different than what I remember summer being as a kid. Feels obvious, right? But I don't think we talk about it as frequently as we should. When I was younger, summer meant freedom, no alarms, no responsibilities, just fun, and it was so magical. But my goodness, is the experience so much different on the parent side of things, especially the working parent side of things. The meetings are still happening. Professional and personal deadlines unfortunately didn't get the memo, and every single day I'm doing my absolute best, and somehow it still feels like it's falling so short. If you're a working parent listening to this episode, I see you. This episode is for you. My experience as a mom began in October of 2019. Brand new job, full-time grad student, and then COVID came. My daughter Amelia had allergies, asthma, etc. from the very beginning. Her father was an ER nurse, and things got pretty out of control very quickly. So once my maternity leave wrapped up and I went back to the work environment, I think I was only there for probably a few weeks before we were all turned around and said to go home and work from home for the foreseeable future. Having a newborn, having a global pandemic, not being safely able to have anybody come over and help, and having Amelia's father at the hospital doing a selfless thing in his own way, I had to figure it out really quickly. There was no easing in, there was no village, there was just survival, and I got really good at it. And somehow along the way I forgot that survival mode was supposed to be temporary. When you learn how to be a mom in crisis mode, with a newborn, with a partner who is gone because the world is on fire, no family able to step in, you just figure it out. And when you're figuring it out, there's really no way to set boundaries. You just learn how to hold everything all at once and call it fine. And then it becomes your baseline, and boundaries become foreign and confusing and almost painful because you never built them or learned how to build them. You only built endurance. So with that being a quick glimpse into how motherhood started out for me, I'm going to jump into where I'm at now. Now I'm 6 months postpartum with my second child. The pandemic is less of a thing to worry about, although we have many other things in the world to worry about now. I know a little more about what I'm doing, but postpartum is still postpartum. And being a working mom postpartum is something that no one can really adequately prepare you for. Your body is different, your brain is different, your capacity is different, and you're supposed to just keep going and figure it out. And most of us do. And most of us don't talk about how hard that is. And then there's the second kid guilt, which is, I think, in its own category. Because now I have Amelia, who is so smart and so observant, watching me. She's watching me navigate all of this, and I want to continue showing up for her the way that I have. I also have a newborn, a job, a home, pets, a partner, all of these things, and I forget that somehow in there I'm supposed to be existing as a person too. And sometimes my partner and I end up isolating in our search for peace within our survival, and we know that doesn't always feel good for the people who love us. And the guilt on top of trying to survive, it's all just a lot to carry. So if you're carrying that too, I see you. You're not imagining it, and you're not alone even when it feels that way. So with my background out of the way, I'm going to go through a few hard truths, I would say, but I don't want to dwell and linger on those. I want to then go into some helpful hints, some helpful tips, some things that have helped me as a working mom this summer. So the first hard truth is that everyone is doing their best, and it still isn't enough. This is a structural thing and not a personal thing. Summer is hard for working parents because our jobs don't stop. The meetings continue, the calls continue, the responsibilities continue, and the calendar doesn't adjust for the fact that now the kids are also home full time. The sun just stayed out longer, and suddenly people need more of you at the same time. But this isn't a you problem, no matter how much it feels like it is. This is an impossible math problem that nobody has really quite figured out, but then handed you and said, your turn. But doing your best in an impossible situation is still doing your best. Hard truth, too, is that half showing up feeling. You're sitting with your kids, but your brain is still on the meetings that you took throughout the day. You're in a meeting, but you have one ear out listening for a noise or a cry in the other room. You are technically present in both places and fully present in neither. And you can't always fix it. And sometimes it's not something that necessarily needs to be fixed. It's something that sometimes you just need someone to look at you and say, yes, I see you. That is so real and so valid. Hard truth number 3 is that you are not the problem. It's okay to love your job. There's absolutely nothing wrong with loving your job. It's okay to love your kids. There's nothing wrong with loving your kids. It's okay to love them both simultaneously. It's okay to love them both when you feel like you don't have anything left in you to give to either of them. This standard for perfection in performing at top speed, top notch, all of the time, top performance, top quality, isn't necessarily made for working parents or people with specific needs or really just anybody who is an individual human. You're not failing the standard. The standard was not designed with you in mind. And the guilt you feel is not evidence that you're doing something wrong. It's evidence that you care about so many important things all at once. And as I promised, I am going to give some helpful hints now. So first off, I don't have a cure. I don't have a perfect system. I just have a few things that sometimes maybe work for me on a good day. And some of these might seem so obvious, like the first one. If you know you have a tough week coming up, cope ahead. You can cope ahead by getting your groceries delivered on a certain day that you know things are okay, that you have 20 minutes to throw the groceries in the cupboard, in the fridge, freezer. Place the order, have it delivered on a certain day. Don't think about it until that delivery shows up. I'm not going to sit here and say meal prep and have all of your meals ready to go because I am not that person. But I can say that just having a delivery of quick, easy chicken tenders we can put in the air fryer, mozzarella sticks, just something quick and easy that during the week when things are wild, we can just kind of set it and forget it. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking spending 3 or 4 hours meal prepping entire meals on a Sunday because that is, in my life, not feasible. When you have 20 minutes, when you're able to successfully hide in the bathroom by yourself, get on the Walmart app, throw some quick, easy meals into your cart, and press order for the Tuesday night following. Just have it there, ready to go. It's a little kindness that you can give to yourself when you know that there's a tough week coming up. So this is a really quick and easy, maybe simple, silly, messy one. If you need 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on your child's attention span, we can usually get a good 20, 30 minutes out of this one. We had an old water pitcher. We had some food coloring from the back of the cupboard, and I got some water out of our sink, and I gave it to our sweet Amelia, and I sent her outside, and I said, now you have a potion shop. The greenhouse that we have set up outside, that is all yours. You have a cool potion shop. You can get as messy as you want, and that is fine. So just having her go outside and sit there with a container of water and then just mixing mud and flowers that she had picked and all of that, it was a good 30 or 40 minutes that she was so excited and she was having the time of her life. She was dirty and messy and tired and happy afterwards. Most people probably have old food coloring in the back of their cupboard somewhere and some sort of container for water. The mud, the leaves, the flowers, they'll do the rest. The third helpful hint is affirmations for yourself and your kids. You can put affirmations on your mirror and they don't need to be toxic positivity ones. It can be, I'm doing a hard thing, this sucks, I'm still doing it and it's still enough. That's a pretty quick and easy one. It's a little facetious, but that is what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be anything perfect, amazing, incredible. I have one on my mirror that I've had for probably a few years now, and that's something that I look at every day. It's on my mind every day, whether or not I really process that moment of standing there and looking at it and letting it sink in. I still see it. It's still there. I've also made some little cutout ones for Amelia, for her bathroom mirror. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am intelligent. I am brave. I am worthy. I am loved. I have so many in there that I have used throughout the years with her. And sometimes, especially when she was learning how to read, I would have her stand there and I would have her read through them as just something we did in the morning in the rush of things. I can spare 30 seconds to sit there, to stand outside her bathroom door as she's brushing her hair, and I can spare 30 seconds to read her affirmations with her. Because what I model for Amelia about self-compassion is more important than any perfect summer that I could give her. Helpful hint number 4. Intentional time is different than just being in the same room. I am someone that I have a hard time being present or intentional with my time ever. But I do have to remind myself that if I put my phone down, if I am present for even 20 full minutes of full attention on my family, that is more important and worth more to them than being there for hours but half present and on my phone. For me, sometimes I need to remember that I don't need more time. I just need to be more intentional with the time that I have. And last but not least, be as honest with your kids as you can be. Kids are perceptive. Amelia is so perceptive. In my opinion, age-appropriate honesty is not damaging. Having to tell Amelia, Mommy's feeling overwhelmed and I have a lot of things that I need to work through. If you can give me 20 minutes to take some deep breaths and to calm my body and my mind, I'm more than happy to play Minecraft with you. I'm more than happy to sit down and paint or do some clay art or anything like that. If you give me the time to regulate my emotions, I can show up for you as a better mom. And I'm honest with her, and I do tell her that when I'm feeling overwhelmed, when I'm feeling frustrated, I don't want to hide that from her. I don't want her to think that being a mom, being a 30-year-old woman, being a young professional, being a human being in general is going to be this flawless, incredible, amazing experience, because what a shock when she gets to her 20s and 30s. I want her to see me being honest about my experience. I want her to see me coping with them, because if I'm going to go through it, I hope somebody learns from it, and if it's going to be her, even better. Being honest with Amelia shows her that I'm working through it and that I'm not giving up. And you don't always have to perform perfection to be loved, especially by your family, especially by your kids. So my main takeaway for this episode is that you are not failing. You are doing an incredibly hard thing with an incredible amount of love. Imperfect showing up is still showing up, and your kids will remember that you were there, not that you were distracted sometimes. I see you. I know this is hard. I know sometimes it feels like you're white knuckling it from Monday to Friday. I know the guilt is loud and the help can sometimes be sparse, but you are not failing. And you are so loved by your family, by your kids, even on the hard days, especially on the hard days. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this episode. I would love it if you could subscribe and follow along. Next week's episode, I'm going to be talking about life as a young professional and learning all of the things that nobody taught you, things that maybe you didn't see growing up, navigating spaces that you might really not feel natural navigating. And as I've said jokingly before, I made the mistakes so you don't have to. So if you'd like to join, follow along next week. That will be my episode Thursday, August 13th. I would love to have you watch as well. And if you feel up for it, if you feel comfortable, I would love it if you could drop a comment below if you are a working parent. What is a tip or trick or survival skill or anything that is working for you this summer? Share if you feel comfortable. I am sure that any other parents watching this would love to know. Last but not least, if you have a working parent in your life that you love and that you know is going through this, send this episode to them. Let them know that they are not alone. Thank you for watching The Growth Session. If you'd like to subscribe and follow along, that would be awesome. I also am going to put my socials up on the screen if you'd like to check those out. Thanks.